he took to address the House and the country at large, and to also express his ambition of wanting to see this country transformed to a first world. That's a good ambition. That's a good, passionate plea to Kenyans to transform our country from third world to first world. And Mr. Speaker, nobody wants to continue living in a third world. We all want to progress this country into a first world country. But Mr. Speaker, we are all not members of the choir. We make observations. We applaud the president where we must, but we also must, using this floor as representatives of the people, to tell the president where he's not gotten it right, Mr. Speaker. And we also must remind him that there are things we must do if, as a country, we want to progress to be a first world. I was taught in biology many years ago that human beings, I don't know whether it's called medulla oblongata, our brain thinks differently. There is no way the 67 of us can think the same way and have the same viewpoint as the president. So I have a few issues to observe on the president, the speech that was made by the president. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is that when you are a president serving your first term, what will for sure guarantee you a second term is your performance, the scorecard, how Kenyans will judge your performance as a president. So those who drafted the Kenyan Constitution were very, very clear that a president will be given 5 years. If he's able to perform to the expectations of Kenyans, then he will get another 5 years. If he doesn't, he will do one term, and will not be the first country in the world to see a president doing one term. It's happening, even in Africa. I think just a few months ago, we saw it in Malawi, just the other day. I remember in Zambia, 2021, there was a one-term president. I saw it in Liberia. The other day, we saw a president in South Africa being recalled. So it's not a crime if Kenyans were to make a decision on the ballot in 2027 and say that they are not happy with Ruto'S performance and make him a one-term president. Mr. Speaker, there is no way, and I'm saying this without any fear of contradiction, there is no way we are going to be a first world country unless we fix a few governance issues, Mr. Speaker. And that is the road that many of the countries that have transformed to first world, that's the road they have followed. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is that we must fix our governance. We must fix issues dealing with corruption, stealing of public resources going into people's pockets, Mr. Speaker. That is the route that Singapore followed, Mr. Speaker. But in this country, Mr. Speaker, we have seen people who join the cabinet, they transform to overnight millionaires, but you will never see any action from our anti-corruption bodies, Mr. Speaker. The first thing you do, even if you go to Rwanda, Mr. Speaker, the first action that Kagame took to ensure that the governance works in Rwanda was to fix issues of corruption. And you fight corruption from the top officials of government, because that's where money is stolen. If we don't fix that, we'll never get anywhere. Roads in UK, Mr. Speaker, are developed from the fines that are generated from the traffic offenders. But if we are not making any steps to create cameras on our roads so that if I'm overspeeding, if I'm stopped by a police officer, that money should go to the state. But instead, if you commit an offense on our roads here, that money ends up in people's pockets. There is a rumor, I don't know whether it's true, there is a rumor that there is a chain. That money comes all the way and goes to people in high government offices. So if the president is serious, Mr. Speaker, corruption should have been a central theme in his speech. Corruption should have been a central theme, Mr. Speaker. And the best way to hit corruption is by going after those who are perceived to be very close to you, Mr. Speaker. You don't look for your perceived critics. You go after those who are perceived to be very close to you, because those are the ones who use the name of the president because they are perceived to be close to siphon public resources, Mr. Speaker. If we go that route, then we can have hope that we transform and become a first world. And then we should not lie to the public, Mr. Speaker. I come from a tea-growing region. If our export earnings rose, the way it was said, from 138 billion to 215 billion, where did those earnings go? Where did the earnings go, Mr. Speaker? Because the payment of bonus to our farmers declined drastically. The curve was sharp, a sharp decline in earnings. In Nyamira, the average earning of a tea farmer was between 10 shillings to 12 shillings. Then the question we should be asking, if the export earnings went up, who stole our money? That's what we need to be told. And there is no way, Mr. Speaker, you are going to transform this country to be first world when our farmers are earning peanuts, Mr. Speaker. Because you need to, for you to be a first world country, your per capita income should be $13,000 and above. Our farmers are not yet there. Look at the unemployment rates, our youths, Mr. Speaker. I was in Nyamira over the weekend. We have 3 by-elections, Mr. Speaker. And I've seen people, some representing the government side, coming to bribe voters openly, Mr. Speaker. Tell me any first world country where in by-elections you see government money being distributed freely and where an anti-corruption agency that is supposed to prevent bribery does nothing, Mr. Speaker. How will we transform this country to first world if we cannot have responsibility, if we cannot have good governance as political leaders ourselves, Mr. Speaker? It cannot work, Mr. Speaker. Tell me a country that has gone to first world status, yet they can't even fix the potholes, Mr. Speaker. I was driving from Kemera through a national government school, Nyamira, Mr. Speaker, full of potholes. So before we do these super highways, why can't we even fix our potholes, Mr. Speaker? I went to buy something in Gekomba. Look at the state of our roads, Mr. Speaker. So before we say we are doing these highways, we pay taxes through the fuel levy for road maintenance. Why can't this money be used to maintain our roads, Mr. Speaker? I remember when Kibaki took over in 2002, the first thing he did was to fix gullies, potholes that had become gullies on our roads, Mr. Speaker. Do we want to deteriorate to that level again as a country, Mr. Speaker? I like the promise by the president because I suffer every weekend. Because I'm not a guy who owns a chopper to fly to Nyamira. I use the road, Nairobi, Mai to Narok, Kisii. I'm happy and I welcome the decision to do all that road. It will solve traffic jams on that road. At times we spend up to 4 hours. I don't know, Mr. Speaker, whether you also drive or you fly. Maybe you fly to Bomet, but some of us who drive, oftentimes we get stuck for more than 4 hours on the Mai. So it's a good dream to ensure that, to make a proposal to do all that. And I hope that can be done sooner than later so that that problem is solved for many of us. But also, Mr. Speaker, when we build roads, let us maintain them, Mr. Speaker. Let us maintain the roads. You cannot be a first world with the kind of garbage that we see in our city. It cannot, Mr. Speaker. Even me, where I live, I've not seen county government service on garbage collection. I've not seen, Mr. Speaker. That does not require a president to make a speech. That we should fix. So we should be telling Kenyans, this is what we have fixed, Mr. Speaker. And then we manage our debt. Because if we collect all our resources and we use it for debt payment, how will we progress? I'm not an economist, but how does that math work, Mr. Speaker? If you collect, instead of developing your country, you are using it to pay debts. It can never work, Mr. Speaker. So we also need to be disciplined. What we should be hearing from the president, Mr. Speaker, is some reform on spending. The budget for our offices, like State House, grew from 5 billion now to 10 billion, Mr. Speaker. We should see discipline in spending. I heard somebody say that SHA is working. May God Almighty forgive us. People are suffering. This SHA thing is not working. I can bring a carton box of invoices from hospitals where people get a bill of 215, SHA pays 38,000. How can you say that SHA is working? Whereas for me, you and everybody here who have a medical cover, when you go to hospital, you spend nothing. But we want to shut our eyes to the poor people who are suffering out there. And we come to this house and say, SHA is not working. SHA is not working. I'm willing to take the senators from here to my village and we speak to people and they tell you the horrendous stories of SHA. Our mission hospitals that have been serving a large populace are not being paid by SHA. They are at the brink of closing, Mr. Speaker. And yet our public hospitals don't have the bed capacity, they don't have the ICUs to attend to our patients. They don't even have the specialists. People go to this hospital, Tenwek, for treatment. I know it. I've seen many people from Nyamira being attended to at Tenwek, Mr. Speaker. So before we even make our healthcare to be qualitative, how can we be saying we are moving the country to first world, Mr. Speaker? Affordable housing. We compare Kenya with Singapore. Before Singapore went to affordable housing or social housing, they ensured that the populace was able to purchase those houses, Mr. Speaker. Because you are building houses for the people at the low level of income. I've gone to Nyamira, not even one single farmer has bought these houses, the so-called affordable houses. They can't afford. So we are living in the ozone layer. We don't live on earth here. These houses cannot be bought by the intended populace, Mr. Speaker. In fact, it's more of a business. How will Kenyans, 80% of them, own houses, yet even putting food on the table is a problem? Affording school fees remains a problem. Accessing advanced health care remains a mirage for many Kenyans. So let's be serious, Mr. Speaker, as a country. And I want to challenge those in leadership to fix the problems we are facing now, not tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, I heard my good friend Senator Abbas saying that we should not make noise, we should wait for SHA to be fixed in due course. But what about those who are dying? What do we do, Mr. Speaker? We are doing a rampage every day, Mr. Speaker. This thing needs to be fixed. Are you aware, Mr. Speaker, that people out there who are not on monthly salary are being told to pay SHA 1 year in advance? 1 year in advance. Yet us salaried people, we pay monthly. Why discriminate, Mr. Speaker? And yet, Article 37 clearly states that we should not discriminate anybody based on economic or social status, Mr. Speaker. So we really must be candid to the President and tell him, you have a good vision, Mr. President, but please, there are serious challenges that Kenyans are facing that needs to be fixed now. You need to remove Kenyans from the poverty they are facing. You need to help our farmers so that they can get income that can make farming to be an occupation that makes somebody feel like they are doing something that meets their daily needs. Currently, it doesn't. The farmers who took loans are not able to service the loans because the earnings dropped more than 100%, Mr. Speaker. So I conclude by saying, well, Mr. President, it's good to want to take us to first world status, but please, first of all, fix the problems that we are facing today. Let us have your scorecard today, not about 10 years. Because if you talk about 10 years,
your time is up, Senator. Kongomogeni, thank you for your contribution. Just to respond to your inquiry, yours truly uses Nairobi, Narok, Bomet road as you. Every other time I go and serve the people of Bomet who gave me the opportunity to be in this house. And it is coming. For now, I'm using that road that you're using, and it's a welcome opportunity to have the road dual that will serve us as Kenyans as well. Senator Danson Mungatana. Senator, all right, what do you want to clarify, Senator Crystal?
Speaker, thank you very much. My point of clarification is just on the course of debate. Speaker, since the majority leader moved this motion, I have noted that those who have contributed have primarily come from the majority side, and only one of us on the minority have been able to speak so far. The first person to contribute was Senator Joyce Korir, followed by Senator Cherargei, followed by Senator Tobiko, and then it was followed by Senator Abbas. And then it swung over to the minority side, but then it's going back to majority again. So I'm wondering, Chair, is it your eye that's not being thrown over on our side?
Senator Crystal, take your seat. The person who seconded this motion is Senator Eddy. That time I was still on the chair, but nonetheless, the chair has since, of course, noted your concern. I had, that's noted. Senator Crystal, you are the next to speak. From my dashboard, it's Senator Mungatana, then I cross over to Senator Crystal Asige. As to whether the previous chair had not been alternating the people speaking to the motion, I have taken note of your concern, and since I had already asked Senator Mungatana to take the floor, allow him to respond, then you will be next.